Hey, I'm Steve Diggs. Welcome back to Fast Forward Leadership. Great ideas at the speed of light. Today I want to talk with you about going for the GBE. Now, what's this GBE stuff? Well, this is a kind of a phrase, kind of a concept that I coined many years ago when I was teaching college advertising. And I came up with this to help the kids remember what I was talking about. What does the GBE stand for? Here's what it stands for: the goosebump effect. In other words, when you communicate with other people, don't dump the data and leave it at that. Instead, touch the heart. You see, the thing is, when we really understand how people tick, we're going to do things a little bit differently. The key, in my judgment, to every great communication effort is to tell the story and to touch the heart. And what comes after that? Great change comes after that. And before you criticize me for this, remember, at least my favorite teacher of all time was Jesus Christ. How did Jesus teach? Most of the time he was telling stories. We call them parables in order to illustrate broader points. Makes a lot of sense. But let me just share something with you that I used to do that was totally wrong. I used to get in front of audiences and say, hey folks, the longest 15-inch trip in the world is the one from the head to the heart. I really believe that. But I don't believe it anymore. Here's what I believe today. I believe that the longest 15-inch trip in the world starts at the heart, and then it goes northward to the head. You see, when you touch a person's heart, then suddenly they want to buy in. They want the data. But if you simply throw the data at them and give them no rationale, it usually doesn't sink in as well as we would hope it would. There's an old saying that if you want somebody to build a boat, then first off, help them fall in love with the sea. But a lot of us, when we want somebody to build a boat, we just throw them a bag of nails and a bunch of boards and hope that they're going to do a job. The key to the whole thing is to start with the heart. This is what I call the motivation information matrix, starting with the heart. Let me give you an illustration of what I'm talking about. I did not see McDonald's television commercial this past Christmas. I don't know what they did, but something that might be typical of McDonald's would not have been probably to have had some guy come on television with a burger in his hand and say, hi, I work for McDonald's and we sell hamburgers. We'd like for you to buy more of them. They taste great. Forget the triple bypass. They just really taste really good. They don't do that because that's not the way we think. And by the way, burger is probably not going to hurt you to eat a few of those. If you're careful, I'm not suggesting you're going to die from a hamburger, but I am suggesting that this is not the way you sell hamburgers, because the truth of the matter is that's a data dump. That's all it really is. And like I said, I didn't see their TV commercial last Christmas, but something that a company like McDonald's might do at Christmas might open up like in a living room. It's a beautiful living room. And right here is this crackling fireplace. And over here on this side of the fireplace, there's this beautifully decorated Christmas tree. And then over here on this side, here's this big green overstuffed chair. And right between the big green overstuffed chair and the fireplace, here's this little round table. And right here in front of the little round table is Billy. Billy is about 4 years old, and Billy's putting cookies out. About that time, Big Brother comes dribbling his ball through the living room, looks over his shoulder and says, Billy, what are you doing? And Billy says, oh, I'm putting out cookies for Santa Claus. He's coming tonight, And with that, Big Brother says, Billy, you're crazy. There's no such thing as Santa Claus. And with that, Big Brother dribbles his ball out of the living room, and he leaves behind this crushed shell of a brother. There's no Santa Claus. Next scene, middle of the night. Everybody in the house is sound asleep, except for Billy. And Billy is upstairs in his bedroom with his covers up to his chin, holding his blanket, holding his teddy bear, and he's crying. No Santa Claus. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go down there and I'm going to check. And if my cookies are still are gone, that means that there's got to be a Santa Claus. So with that, Billy gets out of his bed. He comes down the dark hallway, down the dark stairs, into the dark living room. But the fireplace, it's still glowing. So he starts walking in that direction. And just when he gets up to this big green overstuffed chair, Billy's little feet glue to the floor. He gets up his courage. He walks around to the other side, and he looks down at his little round table. And his cookies are all still there. His big brother's right. There's no Santa. So Billy turns to go back to bed. But just as his foot hits that first step, this big, white, gloved hand drops down on his little set of shoulders, and Billy looks up, and the voice from the hand says, "Billy, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'll always love your cookies. Merry Christmas." Now here's my question. Which one of those touches you where you live? The guy with the burger or Billy? You see, folks, we are people of the heart. And when we learn to play to the heart, and I'm not talking about solely to the heart, because when that's all we do, it's deceptive and it's nothing more than emotionalism. But when we learn to play to the heart on our way to the head, we're going to be much more effective at helping the people that we're attempting to lead. Hey, I'm Steve Diggs. This has been Fast Forward Leadership, great ideas at the speed of light. Come back next time.